Alright, I've got a slight change of plan here. I had the Super Quick card up on the retaining wall there. Great product, as I said in an earlier video. Certainly would endorse the product, not for my garage though. It's not for where my layout is in this garage. It's just two extremes in the temperature, so getting the ripples and everything like that in it. So what I'm doing is I'm going with these Cyrene sheets. These are plastic sheets which the light on the camera can kind of show you that the brickwork in there. I'll try and get it up close. Yeah, I've just turned the light off on the camera so you should be able to see it. You make out the bricks are a little bit better, although we are getting some blurriness there, but a few of you use them anyway. They're a good size sheet. They're about an A4 size sheet, which is 300mm by 172 or something like that. Now my walls are probably about 150, so I'll cover those quite nicely. And with a bit to spare, which I'll keep for other projects, and down here obviously won't need much at all, the size of the wall. So just quickly I'll get something happening and show you what it looks like. Well, I finished the first of the retaining walls, and as mentioned before, I've used the Slater's brick sheet, the styrene brick sheet, which I think is the English Bond that I've used, and some parts I've glued, some parts I've pinned. I've also put the bridge girders up as well. As you can see here, I've actually used track pins to pin the plastic onto the wood, and I've also done that right the way around, and the way that I've concealed that is with the pillars. I've actually got track pin there, and concealed it with the pillars. The sides of the pillars, I must admit I have struggled with a little bit of the glue that I've been experimenting with, but look, I'm happy with the overall product. I'm going to put some foliage and some green and things like that around the edges anyway, so it's going to conceal some of the rougher of the edges. I've also got weathering to do as well with different paints, so I'll have a look into doing that. This is what I'll do for the final. I was just playing around last night and putting some foliage along the top just to blend that in. And also, I don't know whether I'll do a fence over here. I may not, but if I do, it'll just be just a guardrail fence, probably from about here along to roughly here, and then I'll do some foliage over this corner section as well. But all in all, and also I'll put some foliage in that corner there because that is a little bit rough there. But all in all, a really good product. Like I say, the Super Quick card sheet is a fantastic product. I don't want to take anything away from that, and I still do believe that it is, just not for where my layout is. This brick sheeting, I think, will be much more suitable, and will cope in the heat and the cold a lot better. And I think it looks all right when I sort of do a low shot. You know, we've got the retaining wall. Bearing in mind, this is just the product colour itself. You know, I haven't even, as I say, I haven't weathered. I haven't put posters on, which I'll do. I'll print some posters out today to stick on there as well. So that should take the eye away from some of the rough edges. But yeah, pretty happy with that, and I think I'll use a similar Slater's brick sheeting for my next retaining wall, which is the big one along here. Although that will probably more likely be a random stone or some sort of a stone wall. And this is the finished product. Well, pretty well finished. Probably just over time I'll put a couple of tweaks on it, a bit of weathering and black and stuff like that. But what I've done is you can see that the bricks are much more pronounced now. To give you an idea, this is what the Slater's brick card looks like before you do anything to it, and that's what the retaining wall looks like. So what I've done is I've just used a, I think they call it a stipple brush, just basically a short stiff brush, which was actually just a normal paintbrush which I cut down and got white paint on it and really roughly sort of rubbed it, almost scrubbed it over the bricks actually. And then once that was done, just got some good old paper towel and wiped off the excess, and sometimes had to wipe off a couple of times, and all of a sudden you've got the definition of the bricks with the showing the you know, the mud in between the bricks obviously. And then I'll put some of these signs up which I printed off the internet, which everyone pretty much does, but this one's quite a good one because it's actually was actually sort of looks like it's been painted on brick, so it sort of looks like it's been painted straight on. And I've got those signs around. I've still yet got to do the foliage and everything along the top and just bed it all into the actual layout. But I also did the static grass around the edges there. Put some pretty wild and woolly static grass over there, some clumps that are in there, so just make it look a little bit, well, not manicured. And I've still got to put the the foliage along here as well, and everywhere I've pinned in the plastic, I'm going to actually cover with foliage or use some sort of masking technique. I've also reballasted this area here because I wasn't happy with that. In fact, the glue mixture that I used just wasn't right originally, and so it all kept on coming up. I'm hoping this glue mixture is fine now. I've also put a bit of static grass in around the tracks along here as well, which I think is not a bad effect. And I have started ballasting up in the top section up here. So yeah, that took me a little while to organise all of that. This here, I don't actually know yet. Along here, I'll have fencing, guardrail fencing of some kind, and a few people sort of looking out over the view, or whatever the case may be. Buildings here. The idea is the road comes from this void here somewhere, so there can be a road to a building here, a road to a building here, and probably people are looking out over the bridge there, a bit of a walking area there. But I'll figure all that out. Just a base coat of scenery at the moment, so we'll work it out as we go along, and see how it all comes along as I do a bit more scenery. Thanks, guys.